What's going on, guys? I'm here back with another video. This time I'm going to show you guys the DVDs that start with the letter E. So yeah, I got a bunch of DVDs that I have collected over the years, and I'm showing you guys off all the stuff that I picked up with the letter E. And this is the DVD section of it. I'm gonna start off with none other than E.T. the Extraterrestrial. And this is, of course, a movie by the great Steven Spielberg. He directed this. Of course, it shows a very young Drew Barrymore in this movie. Has a bunch of features, and it's rated PG. I bought this a very long time ago. It's an old school cardboard box case that has a bunch of, it has a book in there, and it has two discs. It's a special collector's edition. And I'm happy to get this. This is one of the first movies that I ever saw as a kid, so it holds a special part in my life, in my history of collecting DVDs and of watching movies. Because this is basically one of the first. I'm sure it was the first movie I ever saw in the movie theaters. Because I remember my mom told me that I would cry like a baby. Well, I was a baby, but I was crying a lot. I was really scared of ET when he would come out on the screen and stuff. So yeah, so I got that. Then I have Eagle Eye with Shia LaBeouf, and Billy Bob Thornton, of course. This is a good action flick, and it's one of those modern day action movies rated PG-13. And Shia LaBeouf was pretty good on it. Like I don't know why people hate on him. I mean, his personality is like kind of like whatever, but his acting career is really, really good. I like it. I like some of his movies. Then I have this one, Earth Girls Are Easy, with an all-star cast of Jim Carrey, Gina Davis, Jeff Goldblum, Damon Wayans, and yeah. So this is a reason I came about this movie was that I was at a friend's house and they played this on, and from the start it was awesome. It was funny. It was really like 80s. And I'm a big fan of 80s movie, so I had to go pick it up, and I believe I bought it at Walmart for very cheap. Maybe it was like $5 or something. But yeah, it was a really, really good movie. Earth Girls Are Easy. I also got Earth versus the Spider. This is with Dan Aykroyd. This is like a thriller creature feature type of thing, and it's kind of weird to see Dan Aykroyd play this role. But yeah, it's a pretty good horror flick with Dan Aykroyd, which is kind of weird. Of course, I was in later years. He was a little older there. And then I got Eastern Promises. This is a really, really good action movie, like very brutal. Of course, it's from the director of A History of Violence, so you know how that's gonna go, and it's really good. I mean, Naomi Watts is in it, and I mean, I really enjoyed this. I really, really like this movie, Eastern Promises. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend you watch it or buy it. Then we go off to the shelves. I got Eden Lake, awesome horror movie from, of course, Dimension Extreme. I'm a really big fan of that company, Dimension Extreme. I don't know what really happened to it. They haven't put out anything in a very long time. This movie was really, really badass. Very disturbing, very crazy. I really liked it. Eden Lake. If you haven't seen it, I do highly recommend that one. Ed TV, a really funny movie. Of course, it has the beautiful Elizabeth Hurley in her prime, and Matthew McConaughey, Willie Harrison. So that's a really good cast here. Comedy, of course, and it was fun. Ed TV. If you haven't seen it, give it a watch. Edward Scissorhands, one of my favorite movies. This is really good. Winona Ryder, Johnny Depp. You can't go wrong with those two. Of course, directed by Tim Burton. I also have a steelbook of this, so I double dipped on this for sure. And I have a Blu-ray steelbook on it, yeah. So I got Eight-Legged Freaks, of course, with David Arquette here. And this is from the producers of Independence Day. This is just silly. It's just whatever, fun. Funny, silly. So it has a bunch of features here, like a bunch of bonuses, and it has it has a bunch of interviews and a bunch of scenes of action, spiders in action, and there you go, all the features there. This is a Warner Brothers release, so it's like a Snapcase, the Snapcase old school. Of course, David Arquette, former WCW World Heavyweight Champion. How can you not say that? I have to say that. He's a former champion, probably, no, for sure the worst champion of all time. Anyways, 8 Men Out. This is a pretty good movie from the 1980s, 1988, I believe. Yep, 1988, of course. Charlie Sheen. You got Clifton James, and you got John Cusack. A classic movie, really, really good. MGM is awesome. Then you got El Cantante, and this is with J-Lo and Mark Anthony back when they were married, when they used to be married. This is, of course, based on a true story, based on the life of the salsa music legend Hector Lavoe. Really good composer and singer. Then I have here Electro Woman and Dyna Girl. Now, this is like a wannabe superhero movie. I don't know if they were trying to be funny or if they tried to be good, but this shit blew. This shit sucked. I didn't like it. I wasn't impressed by it. I didn't. Yeah, Electric Boogaloo. Electric Boogaloo is a documentary of Canon Films. If you guys are not familiar with Canon Films, it's a freaking badass distribution company from back in the 80s that would release a lot of action movies on VHS. And we saw a lot of action movies back in the days, especially like around 86, 87, 88. A bunch of Chuck Norris movies, Van Damme, Rambo, what's this guy's name, Cobra, and He-Man, and a bunch of stuff from the 80s, Canon. It's a really good documentary. I really enjoyed that documentary. Then there's Elephant, and of course this is a independent movie from filmmaker Gus Van Sant. And this is really, really good. If you've never seen this, I highly recommend this. It's fun, and it's has a pretty good story. Elvira, Mistress of the Dark. This I saw this movie on YouTube not too long ago, and I think it was on YouTube. I'm not 100% sure, but I saw it in a website and online, and it had a lot of 80s feel and an 80s vibe to it, so I really had to pick it up. I saw it in a Walmart bin, and it was like $3.74, so I had to pick it up. And yeah, can't go wrong with Elvira. Then I got Empire here with John Leguizamo. Pretty good movie. It wasn't bad. Denise Richards is also in it. She's super hot. And yeah, it was pretty good. Empire, if you haven't seen it, check it out. It was alright. Empire of the Sun. This is a Steven Spielberg movie. Another one. This one's really, really good. Really, really well made. I highly recommend this if you've never seen it. Of course, John Malkovich is in it. And yeah, I believe this is one of the first movies that Christian Bale was in. I'm not sure if it was the first one, but he was really early in his career there. Then I have here Employee of the Month. Really good movie. Never seen it. Underrated. Not too many people talk about this. Christina Applegate. Beautiful. She's in it. Really good movie. Then you got the classic Encino Man with, of course, Pauly Shore and Brendan Fraser. This is when Stone Age meets the Rock Ages. Fucking badass movie. If you've never seen it, I highly recommend this. Of course, this was in the early 90s. And it has that 90s feel to it. So that's what I like about all these movies. That the feel of the era. Here I got The Encounter. I've never seen this. It's still wrapped. This is probably in my to-watch list. The Encounter from E1. Then I have End of Days with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Really good movie. Not really good movie. It was very entertaining. It was fun. And it was, it had a lot of action. And yeah, so there we go. End of Days. And you got Endgame with, of course, the wrestler here, Kurt Angle. Pretty good movie. It was alright. Can't remember much of it. It wasn't memorable at all. I got The Enforcer here, Dirty Harry. This is another Dirty Harry movie. The Enforcer with Clint Eastwood. And, you can't go wrong with these movies. They were all great. So, yeah, this was This is one of the Warner Brothers Clint Eastwood collection, of course, with the snap case. Really like those snap cases. They don't make them anymore. I wish they did, but no. Then I got here Enough with the beautiful Jennifer Lopez. This is like an action movie, and it was a little bit cheesy, but you know, it was alright. Evil Lives, another horror movie. I'm not too sure about that one. Here I got Epicenter. This is with Tracy Lords, Gary Daniels. Some of these movies I didn't even know I have. Episode 50 here. Another one, another horror movie. I don't know if you guys have seen that one. This is a really good movie called Equilibrium with Christian Bale. My opinion might be better than The Matrix, but you know, you got to give it a watch and come up to a conclusion. It was really, really good. A bunch of cool scenes in there. Then I have here the 3-movie set triple feature with Ernest. So Ernest Goes to Camp, Ernest You're Stupid, and Ernest Goes to Jail. I really like all 3 of them. You know, they're really fun. They're really funny. And for sure a staple of the 1980s. Really good, legendary. Escape from LA, Kurt Russell, is John Carpenter's. Wasn't as good as Escape from New York, but it was alright. Here I got Escape from New York, and I must have like 20 different versions of this because I have like a couple of Blu-rays on it also, and a steelbook. Escalofrío, and this is a very good horror movie. I believe it's from Spain, I want to say. It's either Spain or Mexico. But yeah, it was a pretty good horror movie. Eternal. This is inspired by true events. Eternal Sunshine of a Spotless Mind. Probably has to be one of my favorite Jim Carrey movies. Of course, Elijah Wood is in it. Kristen Dunst. Kate Winslet. It has a really good cast. Eulogy. Still in the pack. $2 at Big Lots. Never seen it. Euro Trip. This is one of the funniest movies ever. I really, really enjoyed this. It was awesome. Highly recommend it if you haven't seen it. Pick that one up. Evan Almighty. Steve Carell was on a roll. He was really good until he made this. I'm not a big fan of Evan Almighty. It was okay at best. And you got Clint Eastwood and Every Which Way But Loose. Of course, this is him and the monkey. Cool movie. It was entertaining. You know. Everything Must Go with Will Ferrell. Really good movie. Super cool. I have a special edition here. The Anchor Bay collection of The Evil Dead. This is the Ultimate Edition. And this is, of course, the old school Anchor Bay. It has 3 discs. And it has a bunch of special features, as you can see there. So, yeah. Then I have the Evil Dead remake. This is the most recent one on DVD. Got the Evil Gene. Never seen it. Evil Laugh. This is a classic. I saw this. I loved it. It was really, really, really funny. Really cheesy. This guy, the Evil Laugh, before he kills, he goes, and he would like laugh like it was freaking hysterical. And then I have Evil Remains. As cheesy as it can get. Can't get any cheesier than that. Then Excision. Of course, with Tracy Lords. Pretty good horror movie. Executive Decision. This movie was a bust. I was a big fan of what's this guy's name? Steven Seagal. And I remember them playing the previews constantly, and they were saying Kurt Russell and Steven Seagal in Executive Decision. Well, I went to a movie theaters to see this junk, and it only has Steven Seagal for like about 4 or 5 minutes of the movie, and that's it. Then he dies. So, crap. I mean, It was alright. I mean, I need to rewatch it, but I was a huge Steven Seagal fan, and whatever. I got pretty pissed he died quick. I was a kid when I saw it, so. Exists. This is a really good movie here, creature feature. Super good. I really like this one. It's a rated R, of course. Came out in 2014. Phenomenal. Exit Humanity. It's good. Speaking of Steven Seagal, Exit Wounds with DMX. This is when his career was going downhill, making all these movies with all these hip hop artists. Then I got. Let me see what else I got here. Of course, The Exorcism. Whoa. The Exorcism of Emily Rose. Here on DVD. Then I got The Exorcist Part 1, the version you've never seen. Fucking creepy as shit. This should be in everybody's collection. For sure. The Exorcist Part 2. And, Linda Blair is still in it. This is the Heretic. I wasn't a big fan of this. It was okay. It was very slow. It was very boring. Not a big fan of Part 2 or Part 3. The Exorcist 3. Still not a big fan of it. Part 1 was definitely the best. Expendables 2. And the reason I have 2 here is because I have 1 and 3 on Blu-ray. But I do have the whole trilogy. The Experiment, really good movie. Awesome fucking movie. If you haven't seen this, I highly recommend you watch this. It's an experiment made in prison type of thing. Adrian Brody, of course, a badass. Forrest Whitaker. Very good movie. Extinction, of course. I haven't opened it. I don't know what this... It's about dinosaurs, I guess. Eye of the Beast. James Van Der Beek. And a cheesy ass movie here. But this is one of the Man-Eater series. So definitely had to pick that one up. The Eye with Jessica Alba, another horror movie. It's whatever. Has Jessica Alba in it. That's good enough for me. The Eye, another scary movie. Horror. Pretty cheesy. It's one of those Asian movies, I believe. Yeah. And the final movie here for the E's would be Eyes of a Stranger. And this is from the Twisted Terror collection, Warner Brothers. Got this in Big Lots, and it says new to DVD, so it must be like really freaking old. And I still have it in the wrap, so never seen it. So this does it for my E collection of all the E's that I owe on DVD as for right now. I am looking to add more to my huge collection here, so next up will be the F. So I'll see you guys next time. Until then, have a good night, good day, good morning, whatever it is in your world. Anyways, so I'll see you guys later. Bye.